Get ready, because every single fact you're about to hear is 100% true, scientifically verified, and will completely change how you see African wildlife. Forget what you think you know. The real African savanna is stranger, smarter, and far more surprising than you ever imagined. Let's start with the king. A lion's roar isn't just loud. It's so powerful it can vibrate inside your chest and be heard 8 kilometers away. But here's the real surprise. It's the lionesses, the females, who do most of the hunting. The males are the protectors of the pride. Lions can sleep up to 20 hours a day, but just before a hunt, their heartbeats increase. Why? Because they can literally read fear in their prey's body language from a distance. Next, the gentle giants. Elephants can talk through the ground. They stomp their feet, sending low-frequency vibrations that travel through the earth, allowing them to communicate with other herds kilometers away. Even more touching, elephants mourn their dead. They will revisit the bones of lost family members for years, gently touching them with their trunks, as if remembering. Now for the African buffalo. These are not just giant cows. When a lion attacks, buffalo don't abandon their weak or young. Instead, they form a defensive circle around them, horns facing out. They're one of the few animals that will actively fight back against predators, and they never, ever forget. A buffalo can recognize a human who harmed it years later, and may attack on sight. What about the rhino? That massive horn isn't bone. It's made of keratin, the exact same stuff as your hair and fingernails. And here's an even bigger surprise. Rhinos have terrible eyesight. They can't see very well at all, but their sense of smell is so incredible they can smell danger long before it arrives. Also, they don't have any front teeth. They use their strong, flexible lips, like fingers, to grab and tear grass. Let's head to the river, for the Nile crocodile. These ancient reptiles are masters of patience. A crocodile can slow its heartbeat down to just 2 beats per minute. This allows it to stay submerged underwater for over an hour, perfectly still, waiting for the right moment to strike. To help with this, they actually swallow stones. These stones act like a diver's weight belt, helping them control their buoyancy and stay steady beneath the surface. And what about zebras? Those stripes aren't just for show. Each zebra's pattern is as unique as a human fingerprint. For years, we thought it was just for camouflage. But scientists discovered the stripes also help keep them cool in the African sun and, amazingly, confuse biting insects like tsetse flies. In a herd, the moving stripes create a dazzling optical illusion, making it nearly impossible for a predator to single out and focus on just one animal. Look up, way up. The giraffe. These towering animals have some strange habits. They only sleep for about 5 minutes at a time, adding up to maybe 2 hours a day in total. Their tongues are a staggering 45 centimeters long, and they're a dark blue-purple color. Why? To prevent them from getting sunburned while they eat. And don't mistake their grace for weakness. Giraffes fight by whipping their long, powerful necks, and a well-aimed swing can knock a lion unconscious. Back to the water, where we find one of Africa's most dangerous animals, the hippopotamus. You might see them looking a bit reddish and think they're bleeding. They're not. Hippos produce their own natural, red-colored sunblock. Their skin secretes an oily liquid that protects them from the harsh sun and also acts as an antibiotic, preventing infections in the water. It's sunscreen and medicine all in one. Now for the graceful gazelle. Ever seen one jumping straight up and down in the air, as if on a pogo stick? That's called stotting. It's not just for fun. It's a message to predators like cheetahs. The gazelle is showing off, basically saying, "Look how strong and full of energy I am." You can't catch me, so don't even try. And it often works. A cheetah will see this display and give up the chase. Their hearts are also so efficient they can run at top speed without overheating, a huge advantage over their pursuers. Speaking of cheetahs, the fastest land animal on Earth holds some cat-like secrets. Cheetahs don't roar like lions. They purr, just like a house cat. They also meow, chirp, and hiss. That incredible speed of over 110 kilometers per hour is controlled by their long tail, which they use like a rudder on a boat to make sharp turns without losing balance, and their acceleration. It's faster than a sports car, going from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3 seconds. Meet the African wild dog, the most successful hunter in Africa. While lions might succeed in 30% of their hunts, these guys have a staggering 80% success rate. Each dog is covered in a unique pattern of painted-looking splotches. But their most amazing trait is how they make decisions. They vote on whether or not to go hunting ... by sneezing. If enough dogs sneeze, the pack agrees it's time to go. It's democracy by sneezing. Let's talk about the warthog. You'll often see them on their front knees, munching on grass. They do this because their necks are short and their legs are long. But evolution has given them a cool feature. They have tough, protective calluses on their knees, like built-in knee pads, specifically for this kneeling behavior. Have you ever wondered why flamingos are pink? They aren't born that way. They get their vibrant color from the algae and crustaceans they eat. If a flamingo stops eating these things, its feathers will actually fade back to white. And the classic one-legged pose. It's not for balance. It's to conserve body heat and energy. Their leg joints can lock in place, so they use almost no muscle power to stand that way. Now for the toughest animal on the planet, pound for pound, the honey badger. These animals are absolutely fearless. They are so tough that they can survive the bite of a cobra. If one gets bitten, it might pass out from the venom for a couple of hours, but then it will just wake up and continue on its way, sometimes even finishing the snake it was fighting. Don't underestimate baboons either. These highly intelligent primates have been known to organize raids to steal livestock like goats and chickens from human settlements. They also have a complex social language, using over 30 different vocal calls to communicate everything from danger to the location of food, a system that mirrors early human communication patterns. Listen closely. That piercing cry you hear is known as the sound of Africa. It's the call of the African fish eagle. This sound is so iconic that Hollywood uses it as the default eagle sound in movies, even for birds that aren't from Africa. Their eyesight is just as impressive. They can spot a fish in the water from a kilometer away. You think you know chameleons? They change color for camouflage, right? Well, that's only part of the story. They primarily change color to regulate their temperature, communicate their mood, and signal to other chameleons. A dark chameleon might be cold or angry, while a brightly colored one might be trying to attract a mate. Finally, we go from the big to the very, very small, but no less terrifying. Driver ants. A single colony can contain up to 20 million individuals. They don't build a permanent nest. Instead, they move as one giant, silent army across the forest floor, consuming everything in their path. This living carpet of ants is capable of overwhelming and killing small animals trapped in their way. From the sneeze of a wild dog to the sunblock of a hippo, the African continent is full of secrets. What we see on the surface is just the beginning of the story. Thanks for watching, and if you learned something new today, make sure to follow for more incredible truths about our natural world.